People often tell me, "You're so brave to be pursuing all these unusual quests all on your own, following your heart, paving your own path." And I always shrug at that word, brave or courage, because I don't perceive it like that at all. It wasn't courage that helped me move alone to Paris at 26, a city I knew no one at, not understanding the language, or even having sufficient funds for it. It wasn't courage that made me board a massive cruise ship and sail the world's oceans for 8 months. It also wasn't courage that pushed me to join the military at 32. It wasn't courage who packed my luggage to go and travel Southeast Asia for 3 months, explore Colombia, Turkey, or Iraq. It wasn't courage that got me to live in a cave or move to London to pursue romantic love. It wasn't courage that made me finally quit my job and move to a country I felt called to, Bulgaria. Every single decision I ever made, no matter how big, crazy, or unconventional, it always came from a place of fear. A fear I would otherwise waste an opportunity. Fear I would end up full of regret. Fear I would otherwise waste my life. For most people, fear is what holds them back. For me, fear is the best motivator. I see myself as a hyper-sensual and very aware person. Amongst many sensory awarenesses, I'm also hyper-aware of time. That shows up in 2 different ways. First, I'm always on time. Actually, I'm always early. I'm the first person to arrive anywhere. I'm super good at calculating how much time a task will take or how much time it will take me to go from A to B. So that's one way of how it's showing up. But another one is that I'm also, as a consequence, that hyper aware of how quickly time is passing and how little time I actually have for everything I want to do and experience in my life. That's why when I want to do something, I just go and do it. I go for it with full force, no excuses. Whether that's going alone to a rave in a country I've never been to, trying a new hobby, or selling all my belongings and moving to Bulgaria. I honestly just don't see any point in wasting time if my intuition, my heart, my soul are all pointing me in the same direction. I don't want to end up like one of those elderly you often see in interviews in retirement homes who then regret not traveling more, not going after that job or going after that crazy dream they had. I honestly don't understand, why wouldn't you? I think it's the only way to truly know peace and happiness. Not to look for excuses, but seek for solutions. How can I make this happen? Maybe it won't look perfect. Maybe you will fail. Well, probably you will fail. But at least you won't be asking yourself for the rest of your life, what if? You'll give it your best, and in many cases you will succeed, and it will be even better than what you could have ever imagined. And isn't this alone worth trying? I lasted only 6 months in Paris before my small budget ran out. But those 6 months have taught me more about myself than years of living in my home country. I lasted only 5 weeks in the military. But I gave my childhood dream a chance, and now I know, and I won't have to question for the rest of my life if I missed on this career in the army. I learned it's not for me, and now I can live in peace. I could go on, but you probably get the point. At the end, it's not even about succeeding or failing. It's just about trying. Just try and see. As humans, no matter how similar we are to each other, we each experience the world completely differently. What works for me might not work for you. The only way to know is to give it a try and see for yourself. As morbid as this may sound, No one ever knows when it's their last day here on this beautiful planet. You might be in the middle of a very exciting project, planning your next travel adventure or lunch with your bestie. You're living life like there's thousands of tomorrows to come. But one day, there won't be a tomorrow. That argument you had, that text you sent, that I love you you said, those will be your last words. That hug you gave or kiss you pressed, those will be the last cherished moments for your loved ones. This is something that is always on the back of my mind, playing like soft jazz, remembering me to dance my own dance, and always go after anything that makes my soul sing from excitement. It's not about chasing, it's about letting experiences shape your existence. I truly believe we are put on this planet solely to experience. There is no other deeper meaning or purpose but to live life fully as yourself, doing what you feel you must do, feeling all the feelings on the spectrum, loving like there is nothing else but to love. Because in reality, that's the only emotion that transcends everything. I heard this quote from Andrea Gibson recently, and it really resonated with me. Nothing hurts more than living someone else's life. But we all do it. I certainly did it, especially when I was in romantic relationships. We put others first, we dim our light, we submit ourselves to the rules of society. It's all very noble, but it's also denying yourself a chance to true happiness and contentment. I think about my final hour way too often. Will I regret anything? Is there a dream I didn't chase or a goal I wish I'd reach? If there's even a slight yes to those questions, I reprioritize and make a plan to at least try. If there's anything I want you to take away from this video, it's simply this. Don't let the fear of unknown cripple you from building the most wonderfully brilliant life for yourself, no matter how that looks like, whether you want to live in a 10-bedroom mansion or a hobbit house, whether you want to become an astronaut or ballerina, whether you seek the perfect partner or nirvana. The reason your dream exists is because you're destined to make it happen. Someday doesn't exist. Tomorrow never comes. There is only here and now. If you're always waiting for the right moment, you might spend your whole life waiting. The thing is, you can always find a million reasons not to go after what you really want. But in 10, 20, 30 years, none of them will justify the regret you feel. There's a saying in Slovenian that says, "Fear is hollow inside and there is nothing around it." So you have nothing to be afraid of. It's just an illusion, a story you tell yourself. Instead, tell yourself a different story, one where you're succeeding, flourishing, winning. Because the only thing that separates those who achieve their dreams and those who don't is they believe they can and they never give up. It took me 7 years of hard, unpaid work before I landed my dream job. It took 20 years from when I first saw G.I. Jane to when I actually joined the military. And it took me 6 years of creating videos to reach 10,000 subscribers. Because not all dreams happen overnight, but the ones that free your heart from any regret are worth all the sleepless nights. So I really hope you can make all your dreams come true. If you want to share your story, please share your story in the comments below. And I hope this video inspired you to go after what you really desire.